So awesome. Cool. Give everyone a moment to hop on. If anyone wants to join on Facebook, that is up and running. All right, welcome. Hi, ladies. I'm super excited for this this class that was inspired by Jenny. So thanks, Jenny. Working that inner child. It's always a good time, right? I don't know about you guys, but I am. So whenever we're in the waning phase of the moon, I'm dead. Like my energy is just shot. It's like, yeah, I'm seeing thumbs up from Jenny. It's like, you have work on all the release, right? Like that's what we're doing. This is like that phase of the moon where you can be looking at your full moon, whatever your release was. And yesterday, today, and tomorrow, it's like the big rush of release. So it's very physically, mentally, emotionally draining, exhausting. Even if you haven't done a big release, we're all still feeling it, right? Because of the moon. Oh, and my left ear just started ringing so bad. Yeah, so I don't know. Let's get into it. That better die down. Okay, so tonight's class is all about inner child work. And what is inner child work? So what is your inner child? The inner child is that little voice inside of you that might remind you of yourself at during younger years of your life. And so this can come out in the form of, for example, say you have been planning a date night and your spouse has to work late. And even if they're like, I don't want to be working late, or I don't want to have to go to this meeting or whatever, you still have that feeling of disappointment, rejection, neglect, and you might slam doors or stomp around or whatever. It can also come out in the form of perhaps your 15-year-old misunderstood self might start to surface and come out. If say you're in a work meeting and you don't see eye to eye with a colleague, doesn't see eye to eye with you. So these are all ways that the inner child can start to come out. And so I always like to use, so we're in the middle of our chakra discovery workshop, and the next one starts May 5th. It's going to be Wednesday nights, 7:30 to 9, and we do so much deep work. And so the way that our chakra system, our energy system works is that through childhood and through all the stages of our life, our energy system matures just like the rest of our body does. And so any areas of trauma, neglect, abuse, any stunts in growth, so say you were not allowed to cry, right? Maybe crying in your upbringing was considered weakness, and so you had to shove it deep down. So that's going to manifest and come out. So that can come out as neck issues. It can come up, right? So crying, speaking, showing emotion, that's going to most likely manifest in the throat chakra. So again, neck pain, any type of throat, thyroid cancers, issues with the cervical spine. It can also come up with allergies, a chronic dry throat, a chronic cough. So the possibilities are endless. The good news is that there's always time to heal our inner child. We always have that opportunity, and we like to think of it as from point A to point B, that linear line, but it's really like that spiral that goes in. So what is inner child healing? It's basically that a way for us to create space and address the needs of the child, address the needs that haven't been met, neglected, or suppressed. And what we do when we do inner child work is that we really go deep within ourselves and we allow the subconscious to take the lead. And it's a way for us to, without any judgment, to really explore those deep, deep feelings. Hi, Natasha, yay. And it's a way for us to explore those feelings that may have otherwise been labeled by our caretakers or whatever as inappropriate, or simply just rejected. Again, you're not allowed to cry, stop crying, or what I do. I'm just using that example. And why do this work? Well, we're having a human experience and we want to enjoy that human experience. So maybe you had a really great childhood, and this class and this type of work is more of tapping into bringing that childlike, that innocence, that joy, that fun, the being spontaneous. Maybe that's bringing that back in. Either way, that's what we want to do. So, right, sometimes kids, and we don't need to blame anyone, right? We don't need to blame our parents or whatever. There was a big cultural, that saying, children should be heard and not seen. So think about how much suppressing happened with with past generations. And so now we're really changing that. And a super easy way of reparenting your inner child is once you have your own children. You don't need your own children to do that, but it does resurface and bring up a lot of stuff as we take care of another. I see the comments are popping up. Jenny says, if you haven't done it, you should be seen and not heard. Yeah. Oh, Jenny's in the Trevor class. Yes. Thank you, Jenny. It is magical. Absolutely. I think almost everyone here has done it or is in it now. So we want to so when we heal our inner child, it's basically a way of us giving ourselves permission to enjoy life and to have fun and to be carefree. And it doesn't mean that bad things don't happen, but if things happen, we're not going into attack mode. We're not belittling ourselves. We're not rejecting. We're not doing those things. I'm not good enough, right? That's like the underlying is that I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. And so what we do when we heal the inner child is that we release that charge and create space. To release shame and guilt, surrounded around whatever it is. Avoiding, so you can decide to never do any inner child work. And this will be listed, it'll be on the Sonia Yoga page, and then I'll have it listed for purchase on my website so that you can buy this, and if you're not a member, and practice this sequence and this meditation over and over again if you want to. So avoiding or suppressing any past hurts will always manifest in physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual dis-ease. So that's when we're not aligned with our higher self. And then we feel that. We feel it physically, we feel it mentally, we feel it emotionally, and we feel it spiritually. Trish Phillips is a psychologist, and I love what she says. When we heal the inner child, we heal generations. We heal the world. We literally affect one another. That's what co-regulation is. So when you heal yourself, right? So, and remember, you're viewing you're viewing the world through wounded eyes right now, or you could be. And so anything that you see is going to come from a place of fear, of anger, of whatever, because your perception is your reality. Once you start to clear and cleanse and heal and be really gentle with yourself, that lens is going to change. So you do see the world in a much brighter, lighter, optimistic lens. So I love inner child work. It's something that I have been doing a lot of since we went into lockdown, and I still take time anytime a trigger comes up. And that's a great way. Anytime something triggers you, right? Your spouse has to cancel plans with you, or a friend cancels plans with you, or you see something on social media and you get triggered. It's an opportunity to do some inner work. And usually when we do that inner work, we're working with that inner child. They just go hand in hand together. A channeled message came through, I don't know, recently, that controversial times are a great invitation to shadow work. So yay, good for us. We have lots of controversy, lots of things to be working with. Okay. So as always, you are the best teacher in the room. So honor whatever your experience is. Don't push yourself too hard. Be really gentle and really kind. And if at any time things get to be too much or too overwhelming, shift your focus to your breath. You can completely ignore me. And if it's replay, you can pause it and just shift your awareness back to your breath. But we're going to take it pretty gentle today as the first class. So go ahead and make your way to a comfortable seated position. Sit nice and tall with a tall spine. Oh, I don't like the view of. Okay, so sit nice and tall. So that the hands rest down onto the knees, the crown of the head is lifting and reaching up towards the heavens. We pull the shoulder blades back, lift with your heart, tuck the chin slightly, and your tailbone roots down into the earth. So we really want to call all the pieces of ourselves from the past, from this lifetime, from past lifetimes, from the future, from your day. Calling all the parts of yourself to be here in this moment, in the now. And observe where you're holding on to any tension in your body without any judgment, without any excuses, without any explanation. Just observe. Maybe there's tension in the chest, in the neck, in the jaw, the forehead. Maybe there's a dull headache. Maybe there's tension in the hips or the legs, the knees, ankles, feet. Just observe all those areas that are calling for your attention. And shifting your awareness now to your breath, and notice the quality of your breath, how the air moves in and out of your body. We're not changing anything with the breath just yet. We're just observing it. There's no right or wrong way. As long as you're breathing, you get a gold star. Notice if the belly moves, if the chest moves, maybe that breath is restricted just to the upper chest area. Sit nice and tall, tuck that chin, lift with your heart, shoulders draw down. Soften those hands. Go ahead and push all the breath out of your body, bringing the navel right to the spine. And then as you inhale through the nose, push the belly out away from you. Fill up the lungs, create that space between the ribs. Let the chest rise up. Bring that breath all the way up through the collarbone, pausing up at the top. And then slowly, with control, release the breath, depressing the chest, the ribs hug tight to the body, and the navel goes back to the spine. And suspend the breath at the bottom. No air goes in, no air comes out until you naturally take that next inhale. It just comes nice and fluid. We push the belly out. We have all these feel-good hormones that reside in our bellies, and we want to stimulate them. Fill up your lungs, bring that breath all the way up through the collarbone, pausing at the top. Soften your forehead, soften your jaw, soften those shoulders. And then release. And start that cycle again. Inhale to push the belly out. Fill up your lungs. Bring that breath all the way up through the collarbone, pausing at the top. And releasing. And just by bringing your awareness to your breath, you are slowing down your breath. You're slowing down the process. You're becoming more mindful. Just by simply observing your breath, it starts to slow down. Good. So keep up with this breathing. And I want you to observe whatever inner child is present with you at this time. So visualize yourself, and it can be any age. It can be small child, 7, 8, 9, preteen, teen. Just to let your subconscious present to you the child that we're going to be working with tonight. And notice as you bring that inner child up, does any shifts happen in your physical body? Do we maybe get a little bit guarded in the chest? Maybe the heart starts to close up a little bit. Maybe we get tension in between the shoulder blades or the low back. Maybe we start to get emotional. And this is a safe space to allow any emotions to come out and to release. So give yourself that permission that whatever needs to come up will come up, whatever needs to release will release, that you are safe, that you are held, that you are loved. And observe the emotions that are associated with this child. Observe them however they present themselves to you. Maybe they're happy and they're laughing and they're dancing. Maybe they're afraid and scared and hurt. Maybe they're confused. Maybe they're just not really sure what they're feeling, and that's okay too. Let whatever your experience is, just let that be. And try to sit in as much stillness as you can. So when you feel that tension rise up in the neck and you want to shift and move, just stay still. Just observe. Just see what your body communicates to you. And then gently open up the eyes. We'll get into that. We're going to do some asana work first, and then we will work through a guided meditation with that, whatever child is with you during your practice tonight. So the first thing that we are going to do is seated hops. So if you have anything that could fall around you, because we're going to be hopping on the ground, remove that. Any drinks, if you have a candle lit or whatever, get that taken care of. So what we're going to do, you're going to clasp the hands together and we're going to turn them, and then they're going to come up overhead, and we are going to start hopping. And once you get into the motion, you're going to close your eyes. Now, why are we doing this? Well, if you've taken the Chakra Discovery class, you know that when kids, think about when a kid bounces down the stairs like this, right? They're not trying to drive you crazy. They're not trying to do whatever. This is a great way to stimulate the root chakra and to allow a release. So a lot of our inner child work is root chakra work because it's our tribe. So just start bouncing. Again, once you get into the rhythm, eyes are closed, arms are up overhead, shoulders draw down away from the ears. You're going to bounce all over the place, and that's perfectly great. So just allow that stimulation to happen. Allow that hopping sensation, allow that release. You might laugh. You might think that this is the greatest thing on earth. You might get really angry. You might really not enjoy this. You might want to cry. Allow whatever needs to come up. This is, again, a great way to really explore whatever emotions the subconscious is experiencing and holding on to in that root chakra. Keep going. Eyes are closed. There's no tension in the jaw. Keep those arms lifted and straight. Don't let them go down to the sides. Don't let them fall in front of your face. You have a minute left. You can do anything for a minute. Stimulate and release that energy in the root chakra. You might go off to a side. That's fine. Let your breath be natural. It's going to take care of itself. Keep up. Keep going. Keep those arms lifting. Your ego is going to tell you, I don't like this. I don't want to do this. You're going to have a lot of resistance. The more resistance you experience, the more work that needs to be done. Good. Few more seconds. You've got this. Make it the best hops yet. Allow whatever to surface to surface. No judgment, no attachments. Good. Take your last hop and then inhale, reach those arms up. Allow that energy to rise from the base of your spine all the way out through the crown. Keep holding the breath, keep holding. As you exhale, fan the aura down. Bring the arms down to the knees. Keep the eyes closed. Allow the breath to settle. Soften your jaw. Smooth out your forehead, sitting nice and tall. Tucking the chin slightly, lift with the heart, shoulders draw down, crown of the head is opening up, tailbone, root chakra connects you to the center of the earth. I want you to take your left hand and place it over your heart. And then place the right hand over the left. And I want you to connect with your heart. This beautiful beating organ that shows up every day for you, that has been through hell and back, that has been broken and put back together, broken again, put back together again. All the love that you have and that you put out, allow yourself to give that love to you. Allow yourself to really receive it. And maybe even be present enough to notice when the heart starts to slow down. Take a moment to offer your heart forgiveness. Offer yourself forgiveness and peace. Take a nice long deep inhale. Get a little squeeze, a little pressure into the chest, holding the breath. Exhale to release, open up the eyes. Go ahead and make your way into child's pose. And the knees can be together or apart. We are going to flow, but right now we're just going to surrender in. So bringing the forehead down, The arms can be reached out in front of you, but have those elbows nice and soft, or you can bring the arms around and hold the soles of the feet. Allow that third eye to make contact with something. So if you need to stack your fists or use a bolster or a block, soften your jaw, smooth out your forehead, really soften those hips, the shoulders. Notice where you're holding on to any unnecessary tension in the body and where you can release and create space. And now calling to mind the inner child that's with you this evening, whenever you watch this, and allow yourself to surrender to whatever experience that child brings, whatever emotion. Allow yourself to observe and to surrender. It can be a beautiful experience, it can be a difficult experience, knowing that whatever is coming up is perfect. And whatever you experienced then and now is part of your own divine strength, your own divine power. And it can be the simple act of reclaiming your power. So if there was a time where you felt powerless, where you felt abandoned, where you felt misunderstood, allow yourself in this here and now moment to offer comfort and surrender to that experience. In our chakra class, we talk about the family, the tribe that we were born into is the one that we were meant to, so that we could embark on whatever journey that we step into. So it's almost like we're born into one tribe so that we may find our soul tribe. And without the experiences that we had as a child, whether positive or negative, good or bad, however you want to label it, they were simply experiences. And if they've left a mark or a wound or a void or pain or trauma, we are fully capable, ready, and willing to step into that caretaking role. So if anything comes up, any words of encouragement, and it could simply be, you are good enough, you are loved. Offering those words to yourself, or simply just experience whatever is coming up and surrender and soften. Soften your physical body, your mental body, your emotional body. We always talk about there's power in our pain if we choose to see it. So maybe even shift the lens just for a moment and visualize coins at the top of your mat at how much power you have. And what was your experience? Are you rich in experience? Maybe you're feeling nice and balanced. Whatever you're experiencing is perfect. Take a nice long, deep inhale. Holding the breath up at the top, and then exhale, blow it all out. And forcefully blow it out. Inhale to fill. Hold your breath up at the top, and then really blow it all away from you. Last one, inhale. Fill up your lungs, hold your breath up at the top, and then blow away whatever no longer serves you. Good. And then we're going to start to move. So on your next inhale, go ahead and rise up onto the knees, drop the thighs towards the mat, pull the shoulders back, lift with the chest, lift the chin up towards the ceiling. And as you exhale, shift the weight back to child's pose. Inhale to lift, coming into that up dog, but the legs are on the earth. Pull the shoulder blades back, really open up that chest, open up the heart center. Exhale to sink back. And once you get into your own rhythm, go ahead and shut down the eyes. So we're inhaling to lift, open and expand. And as we exhale, we slowly push back to contract. Good. 2 more here. Inhale to lift. Really let that spine wave from your tailbone all the way up to the base of the skull. Exhale to sink back. Inhale to lift, wave forward. Lift with that heart and pause here. Keep that chest lifting, keep opening, keep drawing the chin up towards the heavens. Breathing into that small of the back. Soften your glutes. It's like being reborn again. And exhale, shift back to that downward, to that child's pose. And let everything settle for a moment. Good. Inhale, make your way into a downward facing dog. So we tuck the toes, then we push the hips up and back, and you can bicycle the legs here, drawing one heel down and then the other, maybe get a little twist. Shaking out the head, yes and no. Make sure some energy is sent into the fingertips so that we're taking pressure off of the wrist. Rise up onto those tippy toes, push your chest towards your thighs, and then exhale, sink those heels down. Soften your jaw, smooth out the forehead, and just breathe into this space. Good. Take your right foot and step that right foot to the outer edge of the right hand. So we come into a lunge. You can drop down onto that back knee if you'd like. We're going to inhale and twist towards that thigh. So when we come into this pose and we're twisting, we're stimulating our solar plexus. This is our willpower. This is where we can also give our power away. Nice, long, deep inhales and exhales. Good. And then go ahead and float that right arm down. Tuck those back toes. Swing the right leg back. Come back to a downward facing dog. And just observe
the difference in legs, the space in one versus the other. Good. Then take that left foot, step it to the outside of that left palm, drop down onto that right knee. Inhale to twist towards that thigh, towards opening up. Left arm comes up, gazes up at the thumb, straight ahead, down at the foot, wherever feels good for you. Shoulders are stacked. Long, deep breathing. Good. Then float that left arm down. Tuck those right toes. Swing the left leg back. Come back to a downward facing dog. Take a nice long, deep inhale here. And exhale. Good. 2 more. Inhale, fill up your lungs. Exhale, maybe push that chest a little bit closer towards the thighs. Last one. Inhale. Fill up those lungs and exhale through the mouth. Good. Go ahead and shift your weight to make your way back down onto your glutes, coming into butterfly pose. So we store a lot of our emotional trauma in the hips. That's why we're working the hips so much, and also in the heart. So we're gonna, when we do our guided meditation, we're actually gonna come into a chest opener. So having pillows, props, blankets, bolsters handy is great. Bring the soles of the feet together, depending on where you want to feel this. If you want to feel it more in the groin area, bring those feet closer to the midline. If you want to feel it more in the upper, the lower back, then send those feet towards the top of your mat. Inhale to draw those shoulders back. And then as you exhale, lead with your chest. Come nice and close to wherever your edge is, and then round the shoulders in, drop the chin to the chest. Soften the jaw and just breathe here. And with each exhale, I want you to release through the back of the heart chakra, through the shoulder blades, release any lower vibrations associated with that inner child that you're working with tonight. Release any pain, any trauma, any confusion, anything that no longer serves a purpose, and maybe specific scenarios or whatever doesn't come up, but just have the intention that this energy that no longer serves a purpose is leaving that space between your shoulder blades on each exhale. And so our heart chakra is this beautiful emerald green light. And as you exhale, you can release maybe a darker grayish, mucky, greenish brown energy that leaves between the space of the shoulder blades. Let the head hang, let the shoulders be soft, maybe part the lips slightly. Keep releasing anything that no longer serves you through the shoulder blades. Maybe on your next exhale, you can hinge a little bit deeper into the pose. As we hold yin style poses, we smooth out the fascia that the muscle, the casing that the muscles sit in. And so we're able to maybe surrender deeper.
And remember, our emotions are stored in our muscles. So as we release them, we create space.
Notice where you're holding on to any unnecessary tension and let that go now. Allow whatever comes up to come up.
Whatever needs to be released, releases. Keep breathing, keep releasing.
Few more breaths here.
Good. And then inhale, start to slowly walk yourself up. Bring those hands to the outsides of the hips, drawing the knees side to side, waking up the hips. Good. And then last leg stretch before we come into our chest opener. Extend out that left leg, take a bend in the right knee and cross that over. So you can take your elbow and it's almost like holding a baby, right? Holding your childlike self. So we put our knee kind of in the crook of the elbow and hold on to the thigh. Then you're going to take that right hand and swing around, tend to the fingertips, and just gaze over the shoulder just a little bit. So we're just coming into a nice gentle twist. The toes of the left foot are reaching up towards the ceiling. And as we hold on, feel yourself being held. Just like how you would hold a baby. You're holding yourself this way. It's a way to reprogram the mind. And as we twist, we offer new perspective. So maybe new perspective on the experience that we had. Maybe whatever that experience is, we can have the perspective of strength, of love. On your next exhale, go ahead and unwind out of the pose, extend out that right leg, take a bend in the left, and then with the right arm, go ahead and cradle the knee, holding on just like you would have like a little baby in your arms. Swing the left arm back. You can tent the fingertips if having a little lift feels good. And then gazing over the shoulder, chin is slightly lifted. And allow yourself to be held and to also offer new perspective. Stay with that 3-part belly breathing. So you should feel that belly pushing into the inner thigh. Keep those right toes lifted up towards the ceiling. And exhale to unwind out. And we're going to make our way into our chest opener. So if you have a pillow, if you have blankets, if you have a bolster, you can set your prop down behind you, bring it to the base of the spine. And then we drape the spine over. So we open up the chest and send the arms out to the sides. And the legs are for comfort. So you can keep a bend in the knees. You can extend the legs out in front of you. You can have them come back into that butterfly pose. If you want to put some blankets or pillows underneath the knees, that feels really good. So just
noticing where you can make yourself 5 or 10% more comfortable and settling in. And even rolling up your yoga mat and laying on along that feels really good too. Throw a blanket over it so you have options. So let those arms fall out to the sides, palms face up. And since we released so much through that space between the shoulder blades, I want you to visualize now a golden healing light that comes down from the heavens directly to the heart, your heart center. And it's filling you up with this healing golden light that disperses all throughout your body. So it enters through the heart, through the center of the chest, and it rises up the chest, down the arms, down the abdomen, engulfing the whole head, all the way down the legs. And anything that is blocking you or no longer serves a purpose is just gently getting pushed out away from you. And allow this golden healing light to really fill you up and to keep filling you up. Soften your jaw, smooth out your forehead, taking nice, long, deep inhales and exhales. Inhale through the nose, push the belly out, fill up your lungs, bring that breath all the way up through the collarbone. Pause and release. And with this swirling golden healing light energy flowing all throughout your veins, every cell, every muscle, every bone, I want you to call up the child that is with you, your inner child with you. And I want you to visualize that you're standing in a beautiful open field with rolling hills and fresh flowers, fresh wildflowers. And there can be a nearby river, the soft flow. And I want you to visualize coming face to face with this child, looking directly into their eyes. And asking them, how can I help you? How can I support you? What do you need? And just observe what comes up. And it's okay if they don't know. Now I want you to offer that child comforting words. Whatever feels natural, whatever you need to hear, whatever this child needs to hear. I love you. I'm proud of you. You are so strong. You are so brave. You are going to be okay. You are going to accomplish wonderful things. It's safe for you to be seen. It's safe for you to play and laugh and be silly.
Whatever needs to be said, take these next few moments to relay whatever messages that inner child needs to hear. And if the emotions flow, let them flow. You're safe, you're loved, you're protected, you're worthy. Keep softening any tension in your body. And now I want you to visualize placing your hands on this child's shoulders, looking directly into their eyes, and saying, I'm so grateful for you. You are so worthy. Bringing that child in to embrace them, and to really hold them. Nuzzle into them, maybe kiss the top of their head, and ask them to come with you. And allow the two energies to merge as this inner child comes back with you. Take a nice long deep inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Last one. Inhale through the nose. Hold that precious prana, that life force. Keep holding it. And exhale to release. Start to bring some gentle movement back into your body. Taking a bend in the knees. Shifting your weight off of your prop so that you come just into the fetal position. So remove your prop and come into the fetal position. And as always, we go from our corpse pose, which is the death of our practice, even though we were in a chest opener. We come into the fetal position as a way to set an intention. So I invite you to set the intention to listen to your inner child. Whenever they speak, however they speak, and if this comes out in the form of a temper tantrum, which it normally will, to meet that temper tantrum with compassion, with softness, with gentle ease, with love and peace. And it's not always easy, but just like you would address any other child outside of you, speak to yourself when you're having a trigger, when you're having a meltdown, when you're having a moment, when that little voice tells you that you're not good enough, that you can't do this, you aren't smart enough, you aren't this, you aren't. Whenever that comes up, allow yourself to offer words of encouragement. Yes, you are worthy. You are smart enough, and you are good enough, and you are loved, You are protected and you are cared for and you have a purpose. And then when you're ready, go ahead and make your way to a comfortable seated position with the eyes closed. And I want you to take your left hand and place that right over the center of your belly button. Left hand is over the center of the belly button, and the right hand comes up kind of like Scout's honor, right? So the palm faces forward, shoulders draw down away from the ears, eyes are closed. I want you to visualize calling back your power, any power that you've ever given away from you. When you've given your power away, maybe it was today, maybe it was in the past. Allow all of the energy that has left your body to return back to you now. And as you do so, you'll notice some tingling sensation or heat or warmth that's coming through on the right palm. So just observe that. Allow divine white light to pass through the fingertips, to enter into the palm. And when that sensation feels really strong, and it can feel like right before your hand falls asleep, I want you to take it and place it over your heart. Connecting your heart with your solar plexus. And feeling all the parts of yourself, all of your energy returned back to you. And sit in the essence of how magnificent you really are. Everything that you've been through. Sit with your strength, sit with your love, sit with your determination, sit with your kindness, sit with your hurt. Sit with it in the most loving, compassionate way. Everything is back to you. Everything returns back to your center. Soft jaw, smooth forehead, sit nice and tall. Feeling whole and complete, centered and aligned. Like you truly have been reborn. Gather those hands together in prayer positions, so the thumb rests up the breastbone, bow the face slightly towards the fingertips, giving yourselves gratitude for taking the time for you to do this inner child healing work, knowing that you can come back to this practice at any time that you need to. Cultivating an intention of love and light and peace from the center of your heart and allowing it to go out through your fingertips. And first sending it to someone that may have harmed you in any way. Sending your intention of love and peace to whatever that person or that situation is. Surrounding that person or situation in this healing, pinkish white light of love from your heart center. Releasing any attachments, breaking any contracts, allowing yourself to be free. And sending an intention of love and light and peace to yourself. Visualize yourself sitting in front of you and surround yourself in that healing, pink, soft pink light of love and peace. And then sending your intention of love and peace out to the whole world. May every being find the root of happiness. Take a nice long deep inhale and release. I wish you all peace and presence. The light in me sees and honors the light in you. Namaste. Namaste, my lovelies. Hopefully that was good for you. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, let me know. Does anyone have anything that they want to share before we hop off? Or no? I don't make me speak.